nice way to enjoy the bye week after a 31-point second quarter explosion that turned that game around against the Browns. Huh? That was a wild quarter.
It was a big corner for us, and it made the week a lot more pleasant, no doubt.
No question, and I thought, although your team clearly is a outstanding one and a talented one to be reckoned with, I thought an important game coming off those overtime losses, and now you're down a couple of scores to the Browns. Very big statement by your team.
Well, we've made some plays to put ourselves behind a little bit, and we turned things around and made some big turnover on defense, some plays on special teams, converted them all into points on offense, and got rolling. So that was good.
You like everybody, Coach, you've had to overcome some injuries. You especially to a special player in Geno Atkins. Now you've had some guys who step up on that defensive front and play really well. How tough has that been for you to overcome the loss of such a dynamic player?
Well, we've had to adjust and move forward, and we've got some good young guys that are getting an opportunity to expand, and Brandon Thompson, get Devin Steele back and going, and Marcus Hunt, our draft pick from last year, who rolls in there some, Wallace Gilberry, who's given us just yeoman snaps, and then our two ends that got to go. Michael Johnson and Carlos Dunlap have to go play, and Domata Peko continues to raise his level. So we're doing it with a bunch of different people. Losing Geno is hurts your football team, but that's part of the football in the National Football League.
It is, and defense has really changed too. It's more like you're going to give up points and yardage now. With your defense now, you try to make big plays, right? I mean, that's really the way it is now. You're not going to shut teams out anymore. You just got to make big plays with your defense.
Well, turnovers are key, but we don't want to give up big plays, so we want to limit our exposure on defense. So that's the best thing, is to play good first down defense and then play great third down defense and get off the field as much as possible. This
team, your team, which has really developed in the last 2 years, really does have a lot of playmakers. You look at what you did to the Jets and the way you threw the football, the way you can with those wide receivers that you have, especially led by Green, and the prowess that you have on the defensive side of the ball. There's a lot of firepower. You have a lot of talent both sides of the ball with this Bengal team.
We have some good young players, and they work hard, and we just have to keep coaching them hard and leading them in the right way, and let them out there and let their ability show to the front.
Interesting thing, and we're talking about Marvin Lewis. The Bengals at 7-4 right now, have a 2.5 game lead in the division as the last week of byes this week. One of the 4 teams off, and this year, Coach, we've never been this late in the season and had 5 teams be unbeaten at home. One of them is you. 5 teams, all at the top of their divisions, all unbeaten at home. You're one of those teams. Now, you've had some very tight losses on the road, some very big wins at home. Any reason you see why teams doing so well, good teams doing so well at home this year?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we want to win our home games. I think you enjoy a home field advantage at home with that, the crowd noise and so forth is to your advantage when you're at home, and you really got to take advantage of it. And we've been able to do that thus far, and that's our first goal each year is to be undefeated at home. And so far so good. We've got 3 more home games in order to finish that stretch out, and if we take care of business in that, we ought to have a great opportunity to win this division and be in the playoffs.
This team a little more explosive than your last couple of editions. How about your passing game right now and your quarterback?
Well, we are more explosive, and we've got to get to the right spots and give the quarterback an opportunity to continue to do his job carefree, because when things don't go right, he gets the blame too often. But with obviously our wide receivers have done a great job this year, and our 2 tight ends and Jermaine Gresham and Tyler Eifert have been outstanding, and Giovanni Bernard as a receiver of the football has really given us a different dynamic to complement Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
He really has, and where you play, as the case here, as the weather starts to turn, where you're going to have to balance it off a little bit, you guys are fairly comfortable feeling you can do that too, right? I mean, because that's clearly going to be the case. You're going to get some bad days.
Well, we have some big physical guys, and we've had a string of bad days already on Sundays this year with weather, so we've had to adjust and move and understand that, and so that's part of us. And we're not a pretty team. We're a physical football team, and that's the way we have to play.
We're talking with Marvin Lewis, the head coach of the Bengals. You've been one of the prominent defensive guys long before you were a head coach, and clearly the rules continue to change. We spent a lot of time this week on the play in the San Francisco game. Penalty, no penalty. What do you tell your pass rushers now with the quarterback being such a limited target?
Well, it's been that way, so the rules haven't changed, and we have to continue to adjust, and that's what we kind of reinforce each and every week, and every time we get an opportunity to show good and bad, you have to show. So they understand that you can't hit the quarterback up around the head or neck area, and that's a foul immediately. That's an easy call to make, and we have to understand that. So there's certain areas that we have to be protective of the quarterback. Those rules are in place for a reason, and as a defensive player, they have adjusted, and you have to continue to adjust. So that's the reinforcement each and every day to your guys on defense.
Do you teach them to be that much more specific now, or is it just being a little less aggressive?
No, you have to be specific. We don't want any less aggressiveness. We just want to be specific with the target areas.
What's the key for your team? Clearly, it's a team that is a dangerous club that has big, high expectations and a lot of promise the rest of the way. What's the key thing for your team the rest of the way to finish this season?
Our key is to just put our blinders on and play one snap at a time. And it's very cliche, but that's the truth. And play it one snap, one possession, and we'll be fine. And don't worry about anything else. We take care of ourselves and do it our way correctly over and over and over again, we will be fine.